So it's time for us to change our website from a basic website to an event management website. To do this, we are going to install a plugin. So I go to the back end of my website, click on dashboard, then I hover on plugins, click on add new. Under search plugins, we search for the plugin we want to use to change our website into an event management website. And this is the very plugin we are going to use, Event Manager and Ticket Selling plugin for WooCommerce. So what I do is I just copy it, or you can simply just go and type the complete name. So going back, I paste it in here, and I'll be giving the plugin right here. Make sure it is coming from Made People team. I click on install now. It is installed, I activate. And here we'll be required to install WooCommerce, since it's a WooCommerce supported plugin. And WooCommerce is the plugin that will enable us send events and tickets to our clients. So I click on install and activate now. I can exit out of here, and this will take us to the WooCommerce setup. I can skip this for now. In here I choose my location. I am from Ghana and Northern to be precise. I click on go to my store, and it will take us back to our dashboard. At the side menu, you see that we have events as well as WooCommerce. Now if we hover on events, we go ahead and click on quick setup. Remember, we are not done with the setup yet. So now you see that WooCommerce is installed and activated. We click on next, and this is where you want to choose some labels for your event website. Events label is set to events. Event slack is event. When will event expire? It is set to event end time, which is what we want. Email from name is set to event manager. That is the name of our website, as you can see here. And finally, we have from email address. Here you need to make sure that you enter the professional email address we created earlier on. Now if I go over to status, I'll right click on it, open link in a new tab. You see that we have WordPress version, which is active. WooCommerce install is yes, and then WooCommerce version is also indicated. But if you look at the email from name, it's not activated yet, and then from email address is also not active. So if we go back, so mine is admin at dikupagesweb.com. Then I click on next. Then I go ahead and click on finish and save. And we are done with the setup, and it will take us to all events dashboard. Now if I go over to the status and refresh the page, you see that everything is now tick marked and we are good to go. I can exit out of here for now. Now that we are done installing our event management plugin, the next thing we want to do is add events to our website. At the moment, you see that we are under all events page, and you see some number of events which are already added by the plugin. So all these are dummy events. Let's see how we can add our own event. But before we do that, let's see what category and organizer is. So if I click on category, these are the various categories the plugin has given us, and they are the various type of events you can have on your website. So you see that we have business event, cooking events, home events, and what have you. So if I want to add a new category of event, I just click in here, then I enter the name of the new category event I want. So I can say luxury event. Then I go ahead and click on add new category, and you see that it is added. So if I try to add a new event, I'll be presented with all these events type, including the one I've just added. Now let's see organizer. Organizer is nothing but the name of the person organizing the event, and here they have set it to the name of the business that is organizing the event. If I want to add a new organizer, this is where I do that. So let me say Dikupages Web Inc. Going down, I can add my location or venue. So I can say Tamale City Hall. The street is going to be Damont Street. City is Tamale. State is Northern. Postcode is 00233. Then country is Ghana. Take note, the location details are optional, so you don't really need to enter that if you don't need it. All is set. I click on add new organizer and it's added right here. Perfect. So now that we have our category and organizer set, let's go ahead and add our new event. To do that, I click on add new events. Here I add the title of the event. End of year get together. Next, I go ahead and enter the description of the event. Going down, we have events information. Here the first option is online or virtual event. So if the event is set to online, you can enable this. But my event is going to be a physical location, so I go ahead and toggle it off. Next is events location. Now you see that we have events details, and these are the various details you enter for the events location. If I drop down the arrow and choose organizer, the other fields will go off, and this will pick the location details from the particular organizer I'm going to select for the event. Remember when I was creating the organizer, that is Dikupages web, I entered some location details for it. So what this means is that when you pick organizer, you don't need to enter the location details anymore. But it should be noted that before you pick organizer, you need to make sure that the particular event organizer you are going to be selecting from here should have their location details set. For this demonstration, let me show you how we can enter the events details. So I bring it back. Location is going to be Tamale City Hall. The street is going to be Salaga Road. Next is city, which is Tamale. State is Northern. Postcode 00233. And country is going to be Ghana. Perfect. Going down, in here you can decide to show Google Map or not. This is optional, so if you don't need it, you don't have to show it. I'm not going to show it. Next, I go up, then I go over to events category. So this is where you choose a category for your event. Going down, I'm going to select the one I added, that is luxury event, because this one is end of year get together. Going down, we have events organizer. I'll choose Dikupages web. It should be noted that an event can belong to more than one category as well as more than one organizer. But I'll just set everything as one for now. Going down, this is where we set a featured image for our event. So I click on set events featured image. I'll choose this image. Then I go ahead and click on set event featured image. I scroll up, then I go ahead and click on publish. And now my event is published. I can hover on view post, right click on it, open link in a new tab, and I have my event right here. So this is the title. Going down, this is the image of the event. We have the event day, which we've not set yet. Event time, we have not set that, even though it is added for us. And then event location, which is set. This is the description we entered. Now if I go up, we'll see the event organizer, that is Dikupages web, and then the event location. Now if I scroll down to the end, you see this notification: sorry, this event is expired and no longer available. And the reason is that we have not added some other details right here. We've only seen the location. So let's see how we can set the other details. So the first thing we tackle is ticket and pricing. Under ticket type, first of all, I want to enable show advanced columns. Then I go ahead and add new ticket type. Now this is an end of year get together event for a particular organization, and they want to invite their workers as well as their families. So I'm going to set the tickets based on adults and children. If the event you are creating is for a business meeting or something like that, you can decide to label your ticket as VIP, regular or standard tickets. The names of the ticket doesn't really matter, but you just have to give it a name that users can choose from. So the first one is going to be adult. You can give it a description which is optional. I've entered some short description which will indicate that this particular ticket I'm about to add is for people who are above 12 years old. Next, I enter price for the ticket. So I'll say this is $100. Take note, I'll be showing you where you can set your currency. That is under WooCommerce settings. For now, let's stick to what we have here. The capacity is going to set to maybe 50 people. You can also enter default quantity as well as reserve quantity. The default quantity is the number the buyer will see the moment they land on the events page. So if I enter maybe 2, by default, users will be able to buy 2 tickets, even though they have the opportunity to increase or decrease. I'll just leave it as empty so that it will be 0 for them to choose the number of tickets they want to buy. We also have reserve quantity. This is where a number of tickets are being reserved for a particular buyer, depending upon what you set here. I'm just going to leave everything empty. Next, I go ahead and enter sale end date. So when is the sale of the tickets going to end? I'll choose maybe Friday 15th, and the time I can enter that manually. So I say 05:00 p.m. so it will end at 5 p.m. Next, under quantity box, you need to make sure that input box is selected. And we are done with the first ticket for adult. And I'm going to add another one, so I click on add new ticket type, and this time around I enter child. And this one is going to be for those under 12 years old. The amount is going to be $50. Capacity, maybe I say 100 people. And then sale end date is going to be the same as the adults, and the time will be the same as the adults. Then I select input box under quantity box. It should be noted that you can add as many tickets as you want. Next, we go to date and time. When is the event starting? We click in here, and it's going to start on Monday on the 18th of September. The start time is going to be 8 a.m. End date is going to be on the second day, that is 19th, and the time is going to be 5:30 p.m. It should be noted that you can add more days to your event, but for now I'm going to keep only one date. Next, I go over to settings. This is where you can add an SKU number for your event. SKU number is optional, so I leave it as it is. You can choose to display end date time, and you can also choose to show available seats. I'll leave everything as they are. You can also reset booking count. I'm not going to enable this, I'll just leave it as it is. And finally, we have member only event. If this is enabled, then from here you need to select those who are eligible to apply or buy ticket for this particular event. So if you say any login user, meaning anybody that have access to log into the website, will be able to buy event tickets. You can also choose administrator, editor, author, and any of the rest of the user types we have here. I'm going to disable it so that anybody can buy event tickets. We also have read text. We don't do anything here. Next, we have email text. This is where you enter some text to your clients when they buy tickets from your website. So if you want, you can manually enter the text your users will be receiving. Or if you scroll down, you see that we have some usable dynamic tags. You can go ahead and add these tags, which will pull the attendee name, event name, ticket type, event date, start time, as well as full date time. For simplicity's sake, I'll just enter these usable dynamic tags. I go ahead and paste, but it should be noted that you can enter whatever text you want. Next, we have frequently asked questions, and I'm going to go ahead and add some questions. So I click on add new FAQ. I click on expand. This way I enter the question. So the first question is, who can attend the event? Question mark. And this way I enter the answer to this question. Workers and their families, or let me say workers of Dikupages web and their families, something like that. Going down, I can add another FAQ, expand. So the next question is going to be how to attend. Then I go ahead and enter the answer right here. I'll just enter this dummy content. It should be noted that you can add as many questions as you want. I'll just leave these two for now. Going up, we go over to timeline details. This is where you enter something like an itinerary for the event. If I click on add new timeline, click on expand. The title, I enter arrival and registration or something like that. In here, you can enter time for arrival and registration, or you can just enter whatever information that is related to arrival and registration. So I can say arrival and registration time is 7 a.m. or something like that. I will add another timeline. Let's scroll down, expand it. In here, let's say maybe open prayer before the event starts, which is going to be 8 a.m. Take note, you are not limited to only entering time. You can enter whatever content you want. So in between, you can have the time the party will start, whatever activity participants will be going through can come in the middle. And finally, you can also end it by closing remarks or something like that, or closing prayer. So I'll say remarks by CEO, something like that. Maybe I will just enter some dummy content here. Going up, I click on update. Now if I go to the event page and refresh, starting from the top, we have the title. Going down, the event date, the time, and then the location. This is the description of the events, and we have the event timelines. So the first one is arrival and registration, opening prayer, welcome message by director of Dikupages web, then closing remarks by director. So whoever is going to buy this ticket, they will know beforehand the event timelines. Scrolling down, so this is where they choose the tickets they want to buy. So if I'm an adult, maybe I want to buy 2 for myself and my wife, and you see that the quantity is 2 and the total is $200. Since the rate is set to $100 per ticket, let's say we have 1 child, so I click on the plus icon to add additional ticket for 1 child, which is set to $50 per ticket, and now the total is going to be $250. And finally, we have the frequently asked questions. Who should attend the event? The answer is right here. And then how to attend this event, and the answer is right here. So if all is set and I actually want to register for the event, I click on register for this event, and it will take me to the checkout page. Here you see every single detail I've selected. Now if I go back, there's one other thing we can add which is very crucial when it comes to adding events on your website. That is speakers for the events. When we're trying to add the event, you see that we didn't have anywhere we choose the speakers. So let's see how we can enable that. To do that, we go over to event settings. I'm going to go ahead and right click, open link in a new tab. In here, there are so many settings you can perform, but the primary settings will work fine for us even if we don't do anything here. So what we are going to do is go over to single event settings, and the first option we have is on and off for speaker list, and you see that it is set to no, and the description is that please select yes to display the speaker list. By default, the speaker list is disabled, so I drop down the arrow here and choose yes. Going down, I click on save changes. I can exit out of here. Now here under events, you see that we don't have speakers or speaker, but if I reload the page, you now see that we have speakers. And if I scroll down on the event editing page, you see that we have speaker information. If I click in there, going up, here I'll not be able to add any speakers. So for you to be able to do that, you need to add the speakers from here, or you can just click on this link to add your speakers, and that is what I'm going to do. I click on it. Before I start adding my speaker, I want to enable the WordPress menu right here. So I click on this 3 dots icon, then I choose full screen mode. I exit it by clicking back on it. I go ahead and add my title, and that is going to be the name of the speaker. I'll add myself. You can enter some little information about the speaker right here. Maybe I'll say CEO of Dikupages web. You can enter anything, it doesn't really matter. Next, under speaker, you can set a featured image for the speaker. So I click in here, then I go ahead and upload files, select files. I'll add this image, then I click on set featured image. Perfect. All is set. I click on publish. Publish again. Now if I go to speakers, you see a list of all the speakers you have on your website. For now, I only have one, and you can add as many as you want. I'm going to add another one, so I click on add new speaker. John Doe. I can enter something here. CEO of ABC Limited. I add image for him. He likes riding, so I choose this, and I set featured image. I go ahead and publish again. Now if I go back to speakers, you see all the speakers. Now going back to all events, I can edit the event right here. Scrolling down, I click on speaker information, and you see that I have my speakers in there. Those I want to speak for this particular event, I go ahead and select them. So if I click this one, it means that only this speaker will be able to speak at the event. Now if I want to select more than one, what I need to do is hold down Ctrl key on the keyboard, then I click on the rest of the speakers I want to speak for this particular event. For now I have only 2 speakers, so I select them up, then I go ahead and update the changes. Now if I go to the event page and refresh, going up, you see that I now have speakers, and I have John Doe and Sadiq Dana. Awesome. If users want to find more information about these speakers, they can just go ahead and click on any one of them. You see that it tells me that this page doesn't exist. So what you can do is go back to the back end of your website, then you scroll to settings, click on permalinks. I'll open that in a new tab. Then you make sure you update your permalink structure to post name. Even if it's already set to post name, just go ahead and click on save changes. Now if I go back to the page and reload it, I should be able to see the details. Perfect. So it will show the image, the name of the speaker, their information, as well as all events that they are part of. Awesome. I can exit out of here and here as well. So this is how you can add events onto your website. The next thing we want to do is display the various events we have on our website so that users will be able to have access to them. At the moment, if I go to the front end of my website, there's nowhere I can have access to the events I've just created or any of the dummy ones that were already on the website. So let's see how we can add them up in the front end. Now if I go back to the back end, I go over to pages. In here you see that we have events, grid style, events list style, and then events list style with search box. These are 3 different pages you can use in order to display your events. Now if I open the first one, I'll just hover on it, right click on view, open link in a new tab. I do the same thing here, and the third one, I open it up. So let's see each one of them. So this is how the events grid style will look like. As you can see, this is the one we added. Take note, and these are the dummy ones we're already having on the website. Let's see the second style. This is how it will look like. And finally, the third style. This is how it will look like, and it's also having a search feature, which is kind of cool. If you have so many events listed, then users can use this search box to narrow down their search. So they can choose by category. If I choose business events, it will give me all events that are related to business. I can also select organizer, maybe cooking studio, city, York. You see that. I can take them back to default. Maybe the category is going to be luxury event, and you see that I will have only one, and that is the one we added. Awesome. So this one will come in handy if you have many events on your website. And I think I like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. So let's see how we can display this in the front end of our website. To do that, I go back to pages, and this is the very page that is events list style with search box, but I don't need this title. So what I can do is I click on quick edit, and I'm going to go ahead and remove all this, and I'll just leave it as events. The slag, I take everything off, then I go ahead and update the page, and the slag will be set for me automatically. Now if I point on view, right click, open link in a new tab, you will now see a different URL. Perfect. So now I can exit from here, here, and here. So it's time to add this page as part of our menu right here. So let's see how we can do that. Here the menu is not visible. We'll fix that in a moment, don't worry. So to add this page as part of our menu, all what you need to do is be on the front end of your website, then you go ahead and click on customize. At the moment we don't have it anywhere here. Next I go to menus, and we have our menu right here. See that we have all the pages for our website. Let's go ahead and add a new item, and we are going to add the events page. Just click on it and it's added. You can rearrange it. Maybe I want to put it under home. Perfect. And you see it right here. Maybe I can equally fix the menu. I don't need projects as part of my menu, so I take it off. Now let's fix the menu link colors. So I just hover on it, then I click on this pencil icon right here. We are under general. I click on design, going down to menu color. I'm going to change the text link color. I click on it, then I choose one of my dark colors, maybe this one. When people hover, which color do I want them to see? I choose this. Awesome. And the active one is also set to this. Perfect. All is set for now. I click on publish, then I exit out of here, and now we have our event link as part of the menu. Awesome. So that's it on how we make our event visible on the front end of our website.